And we're coming back to you live from the playground.
Woo!
I'm Sean.
I'm Zach.
Hi.
Corby always perfectly timed with that. And welcome to this very special episode of Spicy Nuggs and Smash Bros. Nights. Yeah. Let's play, Sean, play some like sexy music right now. Oh,
Spicy.
yeah. That was nice
Ooh.
stuff right there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, don't do that.
Sorry.
Never do that again.
Sorry, my bad. I don't know where that came from. Okay, so this is an emergency nights.
I was called here in the wee hours of the night.
Out
Out of my humble abode.
It wasn't even a question. It was a demand. It was, Zach, we are doing this. With or without you. So
With or without.
I mean, I
you.
couldn't let that happen. I mean, like, I'm the talented one.
well, I got Corby here.
No, Corby's here. You're
And
right.
Yeah.
he way more than compensates for that.
There's so much talent
Flies
spewing out
out
of my
the slot.
orifices.
Oh, look at it go! I don't deserve to be showered in this. Try to lick it up so that I may taste of it.
Oh, gosh.
Anyways. Don't think that way. Okay, anyways. So, Corby asked me a very interesting question at 2 a.m. on Monday. I wasn't awake for it. So I answered him at like, I don't know, 8.
8. Might
But-
have been 7:45.
Yeah, Corby asked me a very interesting question, and I just want Corby to ask the exact same question to you, Zach.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a second.
Yeah.
I need to
He has-
word it.
He has
I
to
need
get
to
the phrasing perfect.
I need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
word
of
it
course.
exactly because Sean said he's like, make sure you ask Zach the same way.
Well, I just burped so loudly.
The problem is you
Oof.
probably already gave a response, and my response is going to be the complete opposite of your response.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
Oh my
But
god.
maybe. I mean, I don't know.
We talked a lot.
Oh,
my
yeah,
gosh.
man. We were talking like all day about that.
We don't usually talk that much.
Yeah.
So I have to scroll
We're
pretty
barely
far.
even friends, really.
Yeah, we're not even friends on Facebook. So like,
Are we really friends at all?
no, I don't think so.
Facebook makes everything official.
Okay.
Are you my friend on Facebook?
I think so.
Zachary Erickson. Okay, sorry. Corby, you have the floor. Spotlight's on you.
Oh, I do have the floor.
Yeah, it's yours.
Oh,
All yours.
oh cool. I'll
All-
make sure to bring this
all
home.
this.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Okay, you ready, Zach?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Random question, but
What do you mean
with
by-
one T. Can you actually like imagine / visualize things in your head?
Oh, jeez.
Can you do that?
At times, I'd say.
Okay.
At times.
So I
Sean.
feel like for me, it's like imagine daydreaming, right?
Yep.
If I'm daydreaming,
Sorry, keep going.
what's going on?
No, it's okay.
keep going.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Please,
okay.
I'm
I
begging
feel like
you.
with daydreaming, I like visualize it until I realize I'm visualizing it, and then I can't anymore.
Interesting.
Okay.
Like it's just gone after
Huh,
that.
that's fascinating. Okay.
Interesting. Sean was like, define things.
Yeah.
Fine.
So I sent him a link.
Well, I asked that because I'm better at visualizing some things than others. Like I talked to you about like faces, I'm not as good at visualizing most of the time unless I know the person really well. But like scenery, I can really bring it, or if it's a memory, like yeah. But yeah, show him the website.
So I sent him a link. Sorry, that's kind of bright.
Show him the website,
is
and this will be linked in the
Aphantasia?
description.
Aphantasia is the inability to visualize in the mind's eye, hear sounds in the mind's ear, or imagine sensory experiences outside the present moment.
Okay. So I read that like 8 times. I was like, what the fetch?
Okay.
I mean, I'm following so far.
Right. So basically, like, if you're trying to think of something, you know, someone's like, "Hey, imagine an apple," right?
Mhm.
And in your head, you're like, "Ooh, an apple," right?
Can you see that?
I don't see it, but I can see it, which is like weird.
Okay,
Whatever.
sure.
Like I don't actually visualize it, but I know what an apple looks like. If that's weird, that we would say that.
Okay.
But you know what one looks like. So is it just kind of like dark then?
Well, when you say
Or-
visualize something, like for me, I'm still seeing the world around me, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like all of a sudden there's an apple in my vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
Interesting.
Yeah.
see, okay, it's weird. If I close my eyes and I think of something, a lot of the times it's just nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
if I'm trying to sleep or something, but like I feel like the only time I really start visualizing is when I get really immersed in like the thought.
Okay.
Interesting.
So like dreaming or daydreaming, stuff like that. So
Okay. Fascinating.
Fascinating.
intriguing.
Yes.
Let's all stroke our beards.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Every beard.
Don't touch my beard.
We all just take one side of Corby's beard.
Oh gosh.
It's Clay's dream. Okay, well,
Okay, I want to know your guys' thoughts. You've been putting me on the spot.
yeah,
here,
yeah.
So
Well, Corby, explain yourself. Why you asked this question of me?
Well, we talked about this a lot, right? Because for me, I can't visualize anything. Like, I mean, I do have dreams, and I like see my dreams and stuff. But other than that, when I'm asleep,
it's like nothing.
there's nothing. And I discovered it because I saw a Reddit post that was like, hey, there are people that when they're reading a book, they don't see what's happening in their mind while they're doing it. And that's the case for me. And I was like, wait, there's people that can do that? And I was looking through the comments and I saw someone link to a subreddit, r/Aphantasia.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is interesting. So then I was like feeling kind of broken and weird. I was like, most people can do that. That's not like a metaphor or whatever, you know? So that's why I asked him, because I was like, well, maybe I can ask Sean and see what his experience with this is. Because I was feeling broken and confused at 2 a.m. while I was sitting at work really bored.
Right.
It was very interesting because I think the best example comes like in reading a book, like I mean, obviously, like you said, we don't see anything, but like you can visualize and you kind of have a vague idea of what's going on, especially if the writing is good.
Right. Okay. I love that you guys brought up books.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like I said, if I get really immersed in a book, I almost forget I'm reading words.
Mm-hmm. And you're just kind of there.
Yeah. And then but if it's the same. If I realize that that's happening, all of a sudden I'm just reading words again.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. I just
It's not
see
like-
words.
I feel like for me, it's like when I'm reading a book, it's like almost a faint visualization. Like I'm not fully there,
Mm-hmm.
but I can still. I like if like someone asked me to draw the scene, I'd be able to.
Mm-hmm. It was so interesting because Corby spent pretty much the rest of that day just texting me questions, almost the whole day. I mean, there were breaks
Right.
in between, but almost the whole day, just questions like, so can you imagine a person's face? Can you imagine scenery? And it's just I don't know, it just seems obvious to me that yes, I can imagine a face.
Okay, that's really interesting, because faces are something that I don't do really.
At all?
Even in my dreams, I will know who someone is without seeing their face.
That's an interesting, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I do struggle with. But if I know a person, obviously I can look away from Corby and just picture his face really easily. Because
Don't do that. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
it's too beautiful.
He's enjoying it.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
The unkempt beard. But no, and then I was talking to Corby more about especially memories. I feel I can bring, especially if it's a powerful memory from my past, I can bring that up really easily, and more than just sights. If it's places that I like being, I can feel what it's around me almost. Obviously, once again, not actually feel, but
Right.
yeah. And so I don't know. Corby said something that was sort of depressing in the text.
Oh, no.
Did I?
Yeah, well,
I know what you're talking.
yeah. So we were talking about when me, him, and Braden went to Goblin Valley, and we climbed up on top of the wall that kind of surrounds Goblin Valley and watched the sunset together. And I was talking about how I can just imagine, like, you know, being up there, having him and Braden with me, like feeling the rock underneath me, seeing the sun setting, like just exploding in the distance, really cool. The feel of the wind, kind of how it smelled. Like I can bring all that to mind. And Corby said, I think you're looking for the exact.
Yes, I'm looking for the exact thing.
Yeah, he said something along the lines of, I know what like my emotions when I was there, but I can't picture it at all.
Yeah.
And
I think I scrolled way too far.
So it's funny because like when I go camping with my family and stuff, like I always like I know it happened and like I know what we did,
mm-hmm.
but very rarely do I actually remember like the place. If that's weird, like if it's just like camping in the woods or something, right?
Sure.
Like I can't just be like, oh yeah, that tree right there. Like I remember that tree where we played this game or something. Like I remember playing the game, but I don't remember like.
So it's interesting the different types of things that people are better or worse at either remembering or imagining. Because like Corby's an interesting case because he just like can't. Right?
Right.
It's really interesting. And then like both you and me are not very good with faces, though. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit better, perhaps. I don't know.
Probably are.
Hard to say.
I'm pretty bad with faces.
But then I feel like I'm good at just like bringing up a lot of details as long as I have a strong connection to the place I've been.
Right.
But like even now, like I can picture Corby being there, but it took some work to remember what Braden looks like because I'm not as close with Braden.
Right. It's like I can picture my house, right? Like I can just see my house if I think about it, but
Yeah.
like I don't know, even like school or something, there's no way I could like visualize everything there.
Did you find that text?
Yeah.
Okay. Read it and let us all feel sad.
Okay. So, for me, I can remember my emotions I was feeling at that moment and how it felt to sit on top of the flat rocks, but I can't visualize what it looked like. I will never see that moment again unless I see a picture. And then that was way more sad than I meant it to be.
I was like, oh!
Dude, I feel
I was like, oh, man, God!
Like,
those words hit me, man.
so for me, I can know what my house looks like, sort of. Like, I know it has bricks on the side of the garage. The garage door's white, right? I know that, but I can't see it. So, like, if there were no stars, the moon is gone for the night because it's like a new moon or whatever, and all the lights are off, so you can't see anything. It's kind of like that. I know I'm, like, thinking about my house, but there isn't a house there. Like,
it's so interesting.
yeah.
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird,
Okay.
but can you see an image like that? Like, can you imagine an image without actually seeing it?
I mean,
Because I feel like that's what I do a lot. Like, I feel like, like, if I think, like, say the front of my house,
yeah.
like, I feel like I can see it without seeing it, which is really weird
Okay,
to say.
so on this note, let me bring some psychology into this.
Ooh.
The smart one here.
Mr. Psychology boy.
Okay, let me see what I can remember from this, because it's been a while since we talked about it. But it's this concept called blind sight. Okay? And so what they did is they brought in people who were blind, and they performed some tests where basically they would... I wish I remembered the details or even thought to look this stuff up. But like basically they'd have something move in front of them or like play an image on a screen where like something flashed, and the people were able to react. The blind people were able to
I've heard of
react
that.
to moving objects that they cannot see.
Even without sound?
Yes, without sound.
Weird.
So what the conclusion was is there's one part of the brain that connects to the eyes, right? And that's what's letting them see. But there's a different part that's maybe not the connection's not broken or whatever. Once again, I don't remember everything, but like the connection's not broken, and so it's that part of the brain is there to help a person with movement as far as visual things go.
Right.
So like even though they can't see it, like their perception, subconsciously they can see that movement or something like that. So then that's
weird.
Yeah, so that's interesting to relate back to this, where it's like you can almost like you know what it's supposed to be, but it's just not there.
Right.
Dude. I don't know. Bye, Sean.
Bye, Sean.
just leaves the phone.
Man, when Corby told me this, that day I was super excited and happy for the rest of the day because I was super interested in this. But B, I was like mind blown. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my whole head around it, and the whole concept of it.
I feel like it's so hard to, for me at least, to answer the question. I feel like it's so hard to say, yes, I can just visualize things. So I feel like in a way I do, but unless I'm like super immersed in like what's going on, then I don't.
There are people there's like different levels of visualization. Like some people can actually just in their mind like teleport to another place as if they're there, basically. And everything that's going on. And then other people cool. can see like images, or like little movie-esque things, but they know that they're still where they're at. Mm-hmm. And then there are some people, they can't visualize color at all, but it's like black and white. So there are different levels.
It's interesting because like you say like total immersion, like being there. I feel like I was much better at something like that when I was a kid. Remember how I talked about like making stories up in your head in bed? Like,
yeah.
That's what I was doing. I was going to that place. I would like swing my arms around like they're holding a sword and fight off the monsters. And I mean, I knew I was in my bed, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not like I was like total hallucination like somewhere else. But like, yeah, it's interesting. I feel like that has faded as I've grown older though.
Interesting.
And I'm not as good at just like disappearing into somewhere else suddenly, I guess. It's kind of weird.
I'm like, there's so many things, so many questions. Don't even know where to like start.
I also wanted to bring up, because the website mentions it, is like the idea of sound. So like I asked you before, but I want to ask you again, like, can you get a song stuck in your head?
I can get the words of a song stuck in my head. I don't know.
But like not the tune?
No.
See, that's very interesting to me.
That's weird.
Right. Well, so like I can try to sing a song from memory and I'll know if it sounds wrong, but I can't like think of what's going to come out before it does very well.
When a song gets stuck in my head, I feel like it's almost me singing the song in my head on repeat.
Yes.
I feel like for me that's what it is. And like I totally know the tune and stuff like that. So
music is one of the things at this point in my life that I'm very good at, just like that's something that I can just bring to my head really easily, as long as I know the song really well.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, that's why I find that so interesting probably.
So the question is there a way to become better at visualization?
I think there is. I know people have talked about some people were able to like cure, in air quotes, for the people listening, to cure their aphantasia a little bit, so they were able to visualize some. I don't know how that works, because I tried a little bit, not like a ton.
Did it involve any like carrots for their eyesight?
I don't think they stabbed themselves in the eyes with carrots.
Let me tell you, I used to eat a lot of carrots and I wear contacts, so it doesn't work.
Well, so that's carrots don't improve it; they more just make it so your eyesight doesn't get worse as easy. I think that's how that works.
So good for you.
So your eyes were already bad.
Okay, but you said you tried to do it a little bit. What was like the process that they had you doing? Was it just like on a Reddit post?
I think, well, so a lot of it was, I was watching some videos, and some people said they were able to, if they like concentrated like extremely hard, which I tried, didn't work. I mean, I've tried to visualize stuff before, but again, I thought it was people like making it up, like it was a metaphor or something, because I've never been able to do that, and I didn't understand why people felt like it did anything for them. Like imagining a relaxing scene or something with like a waterfall and 38 rainbows, you know.
That's a lot of rainbows.
Dude, I want to be there.
Corby, can you find a picture of a waterfall with 38 rainbows? Not right now. Just send it to me and I'll put it up on,
if I
on the
remember
screen.
You can even Photoshop
I'll
if you need
text
to.
you and remind you.
Photoshop.
Yeah, man, do what you need to.
I mean, I could like
Make it happen.
get people on Reddit to do that or something.
Yeah, for sure, man.
To Photoshop it.
And then while you're at it, just go ahead and remind them to like and subscribe to our channel.
And check out the merch store if you haven't already. And life has no meaning if I have merch.
Sorry.
Oh, the merch.
Oh,
So
the
our,
merch.
we have to plug it at least, once an episode.
8 times an episode or so.
That's what it feels like most of the time.
Okay, we can get the money.
Oh my gosh.
All about that YouTube money.
One thing that was the most interesting is when I discovered it, I was reading a lot of stuff on Reddit, but then I looked up videos on YouTube, and the first one I watched was about an artist who had aphantasia, and when she realized that other people actually could kind of like preview what they're trying to draw or paint, like in their head beforehand, and how much of a struggle it was for her because she had to like do it and then, oh, that's not right, do it again, and change lots of minor details and stuff.
That's been
she
like
couldn't plan it
devastating,
out.
dude.
That's so hard.
Bad shit.
Yeah, I was like, that's insane.
Okay. This makes me speechless like that. Any other thoughts on this before we wrap this up? We're at about time-ish. Any other thoughts?
For me, people in the comments.
Yeah, all
Let
you.
us know.
Right.
Yeah, I want to know other people, like how they visualize if they can.
Well, and then another question, because I remember people on Reddit talking about advantages of having this, which were things like when somebody says the word moist. Do people like actually see something gross? Or when someone describes like a grotesque scene, does that like make you cringe because you're imagining it? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, for me, the word moist.
Tell us about the word moist, Zach.
Moist.
Tell us about
Is
the
it
word
just like
moist.
the way the
No,
word
it's just.
sounds?
I think it's just the word.
Just
for
the word.
moist, at least for
Okay.
me, it's just. I don't picture anything with the word moist.
I
It's
never
just
picture anything either,
moist.
but I definitely, leave your comment. Tell us what you think of the word moist and why you hate it, because everyone does.
I
mean,
don't.
Unless
I
you're
don't
the one
care.
person out there
Yeah.
that just loves the word moist. Why do you love the word moist?
Because of cake.
I love it because it freaks other people out.
Sounds good.
Dude, moist cake is great.
Moist cake was my nickname in high school.
Oh no.
Sorry. I'm so okay.
What was your other nickname you had today in
Uh,
high school?
I don't remember. Something about.
It was stupid. That's
Something
what it
about
was.
ice, because then you said that would be my rapper name, and I was like, no, because my lyrics are fire. No, the much better one was from Tuesday when I said sugar water was my nickname in high school. That's a great one.
Sugar water.
Sean's
Nice.
going on his
Yeah, so-
700th nickname.
Tell us, answer Corby's question, or else I will kill you.
Sean.
Yeah, that's the stakes.
Those are some pretty high stakes.
You gotta be family friendly.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Or else I will take the current existence you are in and change it in such a way that it appears to end to all others.
There you go. Perfect. Saved.
Family friendly.
Ooh.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Anything else, Corby? Ask the comments questions right now. Ask another one.
Intriguing.
Yeah, you better answer that one.
Taking notes over here.
Oh my gosh.
All right, cool. Yeah, well, let us know what you think of Aphantasia. Check out the website. It's going to be linked in the description. Probably under the merch store link.
Of course,
It's
we
gonna say
priorities.
www.aphantasia. Anyways,
Nice.
yeah, let us know what you think about this concept, and let me know what you think of Zach's nose.
Your nose is fantastic, Zach.
Oh,
Thank you.
look at that.
Thank you.
What about my nose?
I worked
Corby?
pretty hard on
Your
my
nose sucks. You worked hard on your nose? What does that mean?
Zach, like, developing in the womb. Is like,
I mean, that's why my nose came out so amazing. The rest is kind of average, you know.
Isn't there like an episode of SpongeBob where Patrick tries to grow a nose?
I'm pretty sure there is.
Thank you all so much for watching. I'm still Sean.
I'm still Zach.
Hi.
Bye-bye. Speaking. Everybody loves to speaking. Everybody loves to speak.
Same time.
So Zach,
No, we're not booty bumping right now, Zach.
Dang it!
It's not the time. It's the time and a
Always
place.
the time.
We don't want
Oh
to
my
make.
gosh.
We don't want to make Corby uncomfortable. Or
I already am.
Corby
He
can
took
join
my
in.
spot.
Oh, well, in that
Oh, do you
case.
want to switch?
Yes.
Here.
The triple.
I am so sorry. How dare
Oh,
I?
yeah,
I bet
Inconvenience you.
Man, I bet this audio sounds great right now.
It does.
Oh yeah, get it, Corby. Oh, go Pat.
Go Pat.
Wow. So yeah, that was exciting.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all for coming to my birthday party.
Your birthday was in December.
You have no proof of that.
Here's your birth certificate.
Oh, I've been looking for that. Like, yeah, I've been stealing your identity slowly over the years. Like, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. So wait, who's starting the episode?
You are.
Oh, is it me?
I said last time. Remember, you gave me the honor and privilege.
Should Corby start it? Corby,
No.
you want to start? Okay.
Just no.
Absolutely not.